Okay, Edwin Learnard back here again with part 2 of 2011 Week 2 NFL predictions. First game I'm going to get with you folks on is going to be New Orleans over Chicago. Chicago came off a dominant defensive effort against Atlanta last week, holding them to 12 points and causing 3 turnovers in the process. However, they go into New Orleans this week and face a daunting task of playing defense against Drew Brees and company. Great offense beats great defense. We'll go with the Saints at home. Next game, go with Pittsburgh over Seattle. Pittsburgh basically laid an egg last week against Baltimore. The difference this week, Pittsburgh is at home and Seattle doesn't have the tenacious defense that the Ravens do. Pittsburgh big over Seattle. Next game, Dallas over San Francisco. Dallas will redeem themselves after squandering a near sure win against the Jets. San Francisco looked good under new coach Jim Harbaugh last week. However, they're not good enough to beat Dallas, and there's too many offensive weapons on Dallas. Next game, New England over San Diego. Quarterback Tom Brady is coming off a 517 passing yard performance last Monday night. San Diego comes off a great defensive effort in which they held Minnesota to 10 offensive points and 187 yards of total offense. The Patriots are not Minnesota. New England at home, and I believe New England has had their way against San Diego. I'm not sure of the exact stat. I think it's 1-9 in the last 10 against New England, so that's another reason to pick New England. Next game, Denver over Cincinnati. Cincinnati went into Cleveland and beat Cleveland Browns last week, but that was, practically an expansion team, the Cleveland Browns, at least by their caliber of play. Cincinnati is still learning to play cohesively and finding life after Carson Palmer and Chad Ochocinco. Advantage to Denver at Mile High. Next game, Miami over Houston. Houston looked impressive last week, trouncing Indianapolis. They did so without having superstar quarterback Peyton Manning, however. Houston is 9-15 the last 3 seasons on the road. Miami at home should play better than they did on Monday Night Football against all-universe quarterback Tom Brady. Go with go with Miami in this one. Next game, Philadelphia over Atlanta. Atlanta's coming off a game where they had basically a lackluster performance against Chicago. Only scored 12 points. Atlanta needs to beat some upper echelon teams this season if they hope to make the playoffs. The Eagles are on a mission this season to go to the Super Bowl and perhaps win it. Advantage Philadelphia. Giants over St. Louis. The New York Giants were demoralized last week, losing by 14 to the Skins. The Giants in recent years generally respond well after a loss. They should be able to beat St. Louis at home. Well, that's it for this week. I'll see you next week with my Week 3 picks.